Welcome to the Buckhorn Podcast. I am Martelle, and with me always is Randy. Get off your phone, Randy.
I am now. I didn't know we were starting. That one woke me up.
Good.
About blew out my eardrums.
Good.
What is up? What is up?
Well, today we are revisiting E.H. Taylor Small Batch.
Yes. L. E.H. Taylor.
Yes. So it's been a while since we've had this one.
Spanish for the colon of E.H. Taylor.
The colon of E.H. Taylor. So this is a bottle and bond, 100 proof, straight Kentucky bourbon whiskey. Which, you know what? I hate having to say all of that.
It's a lot.
It's a mouthful.
Especially if you say the name with it.
Yeah. Colonel E.H. Taylor Small Batch, straight Kentucky bourbon whiskey.
Bottled in bond.
Bottled and bond. Blah, 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 blah. It's just way too... Why can't it just be EHT, B&B, whiskey?
Swisky.
Like, I could care less about bourbon. Like, designating something as bourbon whiskey versus just calling it whiskey.
Yeah, well, I think the market really drove a lot of this, right?
Well, I'm sure
I was reading an article that was pretty well written about a lot of these, like anything out of Buffalo Trace, how it was so mundane and middle shelf 5 years ago, 10 years ago.
Well, 10 years ago, everything was mundane and middle shelf, and you could get Pappy on the shelf.
You could get everything for a really cheap price. But now there's this whole, it's the hot thing, you know?
Yeah.
You got people hoarding and collecting and doing all this with the bottles that...
I'm collecting whores, too.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to keep your ham. But it really drives the market. So the more, I think the companies are going, well, a new label and all this crap makes it more valuable. And people buy it.
People buy into marketing. I don't buy into marketing.
Like, so, and I like a good bottle or a good label, but...
I like a good bottle and good label. I just don't buy into, like...
The hype.
The hype of marketing.
Like we've talked about Blanton's. Somebody decided Blanton's is a fantastic buy and told everybody it's the best bourbon on the market. So everybody went and got it. And now people
they still go out and
their
buy
money
it.
on
It's
it.
been 6-7 years now, and they're still...
it's insane.
It just gets harder and harder to get. And
I mean, at most, I would probably, if I was telling somebody what this was, I'd say it's E.H. Taylor.
That's all. I'd be like, it's E.H. Taylor.
Yeah, that's enough for me.
It is what it is.
There are specifics.
It's small batch.
It is different than...
It's single. It's bottle and bond. It's not the single barrel.
Yeah, it's small. I mean, yeah, there are things that make it a small batch, and I get they need to denote it, but I don't want to have to say it every time.
Yeah,
or type it every time. What are him to just enjoying a good whiskey?
Well, we tried to do that on last week's show with the Buckhorn Reserve, and
I don't think we went into that trying to enjoy a good whiskey. We went into that with low expectations.
Super underground low expectations.
We're actually surprised.
And pleasantly surprised by how...
all things considered.
...bad it wasn't.
Right. Well said. So, yeah, this one, I don't recall what I rated it, but I recall enjoying it.
It was good. I've enjoyed most of the bottle.
Yep, it's about gone.
Over the past year.
And I would say both of our palates have changed pretty dramatically.
Well, I think this is one of the ones we did in the beginning.
Yeah, it was very early on.
So, and I figure we might as well come back and revisit it and see what's what with it. See, you know.
Now that it's been open a while.
It's been open a long time.
Yeah, it's changed. We've changed. When it's time to change, you have to rearrange. As the late, great philosopher Peter R.
Seal?
Brady said.
Oh. I thought you were talking about Seal. You're not talking about Seal?
I wasn't talking about Seal.
No.
But he is cute. And he has a silky voice.
So
Art.
We did this on episode 40.
You just shook your head and went on.
I'm
Episode 40. So this was early on for us then.
Yeah, this is about the time we actually started doing drinking whiskey on the show.
Okay.
Yeah, because let's see.
I thought we'd pretty much been doing it since the beginning.
No, actually, about episode 30 is when we started actually doing, like, rating the stuff that we were drinking.
Gotcha, okay.
So, yeah, we may have been drinking it, but we weren't really talking about it. So, yeah, I wanted to come back. I wanted to check this out. I want to see how what we think about it now, 70 episodes later. So about 2 years later, almost.
Yep.
So, and then you had some stuff that you had, an article and a chaps your cheeks, and we can get into that as well. But on the nose, caramel, maybe toffee. I can't tell. Some cinnamon, maybe and a little bit of vanilla.
It's a spicy sweet smell. If that makes sense.
Well, it's cinnamon. Cinnamon's kind of spicy sweet, but I get something different. Like, so I get the cinnamon and I get vanilla, but I also get something else, like a caramel or a toffee or.
Yeah, I think more toffee than caramel for me on this.
I just can't pinpoint exactly what it is. Some soap.
On a rope.
I'm just kidding. It's not soap. Yeah, so go ahead and give it a...
Take a little tasting here.
Yeah. What do you get?
That's smooth. That's very, very smooth.
It is.
Light burn in the chest.
I don't get that.
Maybe it's just heartburn.
It's probably that ham sandwich from last week.
Yep, that one will stay with you. Gas station ham-style sandwiches will linger.
Yeah,
they will go full on cranberries.
Sticks to your ribs.
Do you have to let it linger?
Ew.
You don't like the cranberries?
No, I hate the cranberries.
Oh.
I also don't like Smashing Pumpkins.
Wow. You just hate fruit.
No, I actually like fruit a lot. I just think those two bands out of the grunge era of the 90s sucked
both.
a Peter.
They may have. I'm not up to date with their personal lives.
Their music was awful.
I disagree.
Billy Corgan's a whiny bitch.
That's irrelevant. I'm just talking about the music alone.
Well,
I enjoyed music from both of them.
Nah.
Corgan, I've had my own thoughts on, but I don't really care either way. I like, so there's a cover of the Cranberry song Zombie after
I hate that song.
Dolores O'Riordan died. There's a band that was doing a cover she was going to do some guest vocals on, and when she passed away, they went ahead and did it in memory of her. You might like the cover.
Probably not.
It's more heavy metal. It's more
Doesn't
rock.
matter. It's the lyrics.
Really?
Sounds like a seal.
Speaking of, you're real angry.
Oh, I can't stand that. I hate cranberries. I hate Smashing Pumpkins.
I like them, but you don't like any Smashing Pumpkin song?
Nope.
Wow, despite all of your rage, you are still Martelle in a cage.
No, I'm actually quite free range.
Free range Martelle. You're going to make the best Soylent Green.
That's right.
Back-to-back references.
Oh,
2 weeks in a row.
So I like revisiting this.
I really like this.
I like it. I like it a lot.
This is very smooth.
I knew I was going to. So
yeah, this one is a good buy.
But it's sat out a while, so it's and I haven't had a glass of this. It's probably been a couple months since I've had a glass of this again. Yeah. It's just not something I go to, even though it's sitting there. And it may just be it's a little harder to get in Ohio.
Yeah,
type
that plays
of deal.
into it.
So I don't pick it up. But everything that I own from this point is either super hard to get in Ohio or just doesn't exist in Ohio. I was just looking at everything I had downstairs.
There's nothing.
I've got Blanton's. It's available in Ohio, not readily available.
Yeah, it's hard to get.
It's hard to get. And then Screwball.
That would be the one that's easy to get.
That would be the easiest one to get.
I finally bought a bottle of that.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
2 weeks ago, still haven't opened it.
Well, I mean, I've got a bottle that I got for Father's Day that I haven't opened up yet. But just looking at everything I have from the Weller Foolproof through all the makers.
The Virgil Canes.
All the Virgil Canes, the Elijah Craig Rye. None of it is available in Ohio.
That's good and bad.
And I've got another bottle coming from a Kansas distillery.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Not going to share that one? You going to save it?
Yeah, we'll save it.
Okay.
I've got it's coming.
Right now I've got the Ancient Age that I found. I've got...
That you found or that I bought you?
No, well, but the ones that I found too.
Oh.
I see. Here's the thing with that bottle. I don't mind having some of those.
Yeah.
And then give them as a gift. Somebody moves in a new house. Hey, here's you a bottle of whiskey.
Here's the cheapest bottle of whiskey I can find that tastes decent.
Well, it's cheap, but honestly, it's one of my favorites. Taste-wise, I really enjoy it.
It is. So I was at the gym the other day, and I've talked about Brandon and Jimmy and their adventures in whiskey. And out of the blue...
Their addiction?
Yes.
They need help.
No. Yeah, they need help drinking all their whiskey.
Put me in, coach.
Brandon was like, he comes over and he's like, Ancient Age sucks. I'm like, yes, it does.
Yeah, it's a mixer.
I said, you need Ancient Age 10-star.
Same mash bills blends.
And he just looks at me and he goes, well, that Ancient Age, it sucks. I'm like, yeah, don't buy that.
Yeah, we've said that repeatedly.
I've said that. Like, you should have told me.
Yeah.
That you were going to buy that. I would have said, no, don't buy that.
Literally only buy that for people that want to mix it with Coke.
Yeah.
It's like a benchmark. Like, it's not fantastic.
It's like
actually benchmark's better than Ancient Age.
It's like a B-Mate star. It'll ruin. It'll ruin Dr. Pepper.
It's not near as bad as B-Mate Star. B-Mate Star was like drinking gasoline mixed with hermit crab water.
Maybe it's hermit crab water mixed with gasoline.
It could be. Either way, it was atrocious.
Are you a left Twix or a right Twix?
I eat them both at the same time.
Well,
double fist.
That's fine.
Yeah, no, Ancient Age is bad. So has he had the AAA then?
I don't think he has.
Okay.
So I don't think he has.
Maybe I'll have to give him a bit of that then.
But we're going to do there was some Ohio OHLQ Whistle Pig release. 4 different bottles.
Yeah.
Well, they have all 4 different bottles.
Okay.
Or they have access to them. Like, they
know people.
Lon, Jimmy, and Brandon all have a bottle each, and then somebody else has another bottle. And I'm like, well, next Friday, let's sample that up.
Yeah.
So let's, get the 4 samples, and no, you're not coming.
I'm coming. I'm going to message Jimmy right now.
Nope. I already told Jimmy you're not invited. You're not a paying member of the gym.
So? I want to pay a member of the gym when I went to the last thing.
But you were coaching. Well, no, the last thing was different. That was a birthday party.
It's my birthday.
It's not your birthday.
Close enough.
Nope.
It will be.
Nope.
Next June.
Yep.
Hey, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, and it's my birthday somewhere.
Nope. Doesn't work like that. It's not interdimensional.
Well, then I'm just going to message him and have my own tasting party, and you're not invited.
That's fine.
And we're going to have all the Kentucky taverns and B-Mate stars in the world.
You can have all
and you're not allowed to come.
You can have
I don't want to hear it.
All the pappies, and I still wouldn't come.
Yes, you would.
It's too far. Although I did drive down to Lake Haggis. That's 10 minutes from your house.
I met at the gym. It's not too far to go to the gym. And it's Hargis Lake, not Lake Haggis.
I don't care. It's Lake Haggis because I fell in last week.
Oh, is that where you fell in?
Yeah. Slipped and fell.
Yeah,
I also got a fucking hook stuck in my shoe.
Yeah,
so
don't do that.
I fell in, and I picked up my, I got up, and I was wearing my sandals, and there was a hook stuck in the side of the sole. I'm like, oh, this is lovely.
Yeah, a lot of
fucking
people.
Assholes just leaving. No, it's bad.
Was it on the land?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's bad.
Well, and so I've been going to different places fishing because that's what I do now. I'm an avid fisher guy that doesn't fish that avidly.
I'm an avid fisherman a couple times a month.
Yeah.
Well, you've been going more active lately.
I have been. I once I bought my license, I started getting out more, and when I was fishing with my buddy Pete and trying to do more bass fishing, like specifically bass fishing, I haven't caught shit.
Yeah.
I've got rigs and jigs left and right, trying different things.
Riggers and jiggers.
Watch it.
Towing the line.
But I was down there, and like so other places I've gone, not just here, people are leaving their shit lay out everywhere. Like they'll get a carton of night crawlers.
And just leave them?
They dump the carton of the dirt out, and they pick through the night crawlers, but then they just leave the carton when they're done. Just leaving shit on the shore everywhere.
Yeah, I could see leaving the dirt there. That's going to wash away, but don't leave the carton.
The carton.
Yeah,
leaving trash.
Don't do that.
It is.
I'm with you on that. When I was younger, there were times when I would throw a pop can or something out the window. Well, at one point, I finally realized I'm the jerk that's making everything look trashy.
Yeah.
And I didn't like being that guy, so I quit.
I've literally, so I didn't.
My vehicles started getting dirtier because I wouldn't always clean them out. But
Well, I started, like when I was younger, you walk around small towns.
yeah,
When you're a teenager, you're walking around eating pizza and
whatever.
at least you would, you need a place to put like Toronto has garbage cans all over the place. They used to down the street. So you could throw stuff away. But you'd walk through a neighborhood.
Right.
And you just, you're walking up an alley. You just throw the garbage in someone's garbage can. I got yelled at by someone for doing that, the homeowner. And my response was, I like set it on top and I closed the lid. And they're like, all right, don't be. I'm like, would you rather I do this? And I just grabbed it and dropped it right in front of him. He's like, well, that's littering. I'm like, okay, which is it? Do you want me to just leave it in front of your trash can on the ground? Or do you just want me to put it in the trash can because it's a pizza box? Oh, and it's trash.
I'll tell you where you can put it.
Stick it up his ass.
I don't mind.
Turn it sideways and stick it straight up his candy ass.
It's candied. Tasty.
Cinnamon candied ass.
I don't mind people throwing trash. Well, our trash can kind of sits in like our backyard at the new place.
Yeah.
So you'd have to be in my backyard. If you're in my backyard, I'm probably going to question why you're there.
Well, this isn't an alley.
So, but going down an alley, like my old place, our trash cans were by the alley. If somebody's throwing trash in, there were 4 trash cans for 4 apartments. We didn't even always use the same one.
Right.
The owner provided it. Like, this is part of your rent. Here's 4 trash cans. We don't care who does what. So I just lift one. If it was full, I'd lift the next lid. Whatever. If somebody was throwing trash in there, I would rather do that than the alley because on our walks we take as a family, I've said it before, I take a grabber claw thing and a 5-gallon bucket and I pick up trash.
Yeah.
I don't like my neighborhood. I don't live in a classy neighborhood. You don't live in the same kind of neighborhood I do, though.
Right, but
you're in the country.
So the trash guys the other week had a hard time with getting trash into the trash truck because it was so packed full of shit that trash was falling out of the truck.
Geez.
So they were picking it up and throwing it in, but some of the stuff, if it got away from them because it was kind of windy,
yeah,
they weren't chasing that shit down.
No, they ain't got time for that.
It ended up in my ditch.
Yeah.
I didn't go and pick it up. I just waited for the guys who mow to come through and just mulch it into the grass.
There you go.
It's just problem solved.
Yeah. Just make it smaller trash.
Yeah, just grind it up.
But I like my place looking decent for what it is. I'm not the richest guy and all this, but I can take care of what I have at least fairly well. I don't care if somebody throws trash in my trash can. I would have a problem with like our neighbors that you've seen the building now, so the ones across the breezeway, the apartments attached to our house. They had lost their trash service or canceled or whatever. Well, for like 3 weeks. And somebody moved into the 2-bedroom. So there's a 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom. Nobody had a trash service. So it just started piling up out by the alley. And I was like, yo, y'all got to do something about that. I don't care if you take it behind Walmart and throw it in a dumpster. I can't just have piles of trash sitting here because where we park, we pull in where they usually put the trash cans to be picked up. And I went out today. All the trash was gone. The trash cans were moved back out of our way, so I was happy. I don't care if you throw a pizza box in my trash can.
Well, no one should care if you throw a pizza box in
I
a
just don't
trash
want you
can.
piling up trash in my driveway.
That's different. that's different.
That I would have a problem
with. And that's
with.
residents piling up trash.
Yeah.
This was...
Well, I think people have gone down that alley, too, and just chucked trash out.
Oh, I'm sure they
into
have.
a trash can they see, or close to one. Because I'll go out and find trash close to it that it literally is... I don't think it's the neighbors because the trash cans are by their door. And they don't seem like the kind of people that are so lazy they can't throw it in the trash can.
No, it's probably assholes that are just throwing
that.
Stuff
I have
out.
A problem with.
That I have a problem with. But I've seen people get upset because they're walking their dog and they take one of the poo bags and they just drop it in a trash can that's sitting by the road. Who cares?
Yeah, I don't care.
The trash hasn't come yet.
Yeah,
it's your can's full. It's not like a bag of dog shit's going to sit in your garage in a trash can. Who cares? Would you rather them just like sling it up against your door?
Like one of them foxtail things?
Yeah, just light it on fire and throw it at your house.
There's a flaming bag on the porch again. Don't put it out with your boot, Harold.
Don't step on it.
Don't tell me what to do, devil woman.
That's shit.
He called the poop shit. Or the shit poop, however it was.
It's poop.
I haven't seen Billy Madison in a long time.
It's been a while. But so what do you got? You got something... I'm done reviewing the E.H. Taylor.
Oh, okay.
We like it.
Yeah, we like it.
We're good. I'll give it another 4-star.
4 donuts.
If you can, or donuts, or 2.5 donuts, or 2.5 stars, or 5 stars, or it's a ringer.
Okay, I'm trying to find, because I've saved a bunch of stuff, and I'm trying to find one.
Well, what you had to chaps your cheeks.
Yeah, okay, I do have it chaps my cheeks.
Yeah, get on that.
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
Let's get on my cheeks. What chaps my cheeks
No.
are people who I know and respect, who I think are good contributing members of society, who are, by all accounts, good people, good, honest, hardworking, family-loving, and providing for people who have been speaking out on social media about, especially those of the Christian faith, about being open and accepting and understanding and not arguing politics. And I'm all for that, right?
Why are you calling me out?
And not
hold on, it's not me because I don't do any of that
No.
stuff.
But they're like, hey, just chill. Everybody love everybody. Go full Jackie Moon on it. And then 9/11 hit. Now, this is the first year in 19 years that on social media I did not make a post about Remember 9/11. And I couldn't bring myself to do it for the simple reason that when I think of 9/11, I think of those I know that lived there that were affected. I think of the lives that were lost. I get frustrated. I'm trying to choose my words wisely here. Thinking about the trillions of dollars and the thousands of lives lost, both American and foreign innocent lives, over this ongoing war on terrorism, which is bullcrap, because you can't end terrorism, right? We got rid of Saddam. We gained ISIS. What did we end? You know what I'm saying?
What is even controversy around getting rid of Saddam and ISIS? Because he was apparently keeping all that at bay.
So, yeah. So, all this aside, I've got my own feelings about it. Now, obviously, I love my people, my country, and I want to remember them and honor them. I want to honor the EMTs, the policemen, the firemen.
Steve Buscemi,
everybody that ran towards danger that day deserves the highest praise in my mind. But when I see somebody take a picture of a firefighter, it's the last picture of this man known alive, running through traffic because he couldn't get his fire truck through because everybody stopped and, bailed their vehicles. And it says something as stupid, it's just so ignorant, that says, this is why we praise these people. Have you ever seen a professional athlete run to save somebody else?
No, they're pussies.
No, they're not. But here's my thing. First off, why can you not just say, hey, let's honor great men like this, great women like these people, and leave it at that? Why do you have to, after preaching unity, why are you going to put up a post that causes division, period? Secondly, I listed about 25 professional athletes that have one guy lost his life saving a victim from drowning. It went back for two others, and they all three died. Pat Tillman joined the military, died. I listed Muhammad Ali saved a person's life. People that save people from choking, drowning, fires, all this stuff. The thing is, EMTs, firefighters, policemen
need trading cards.
They are fine. Get trading cards. I don't care about that. They're in the line of work where they're going to be faced with danger more often than not, right?
Right.
It's just a statistics thing. I'm all for praising these people, but why do you have to sit there and try and make it a thing about, you're saying, well, don't argue politics and don't cause division, and, if you're a Christian, then you should be more accepting, and then go, well, athletes suck. I don't care if you think they do or not. Don't take 9/11 as a place to make that argument. It was just so tacky to me.
So I will agree with you, but everything has a political agenda now. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, but it's hypocritical for you to say, don't cause division, and then on 9/11 use that big of an event to call out people that kneel for the flag.
Mm-hmm.
Which they're not kneeling for the flag. They're not kneeling against. They're simply protesting an issue that they're passionate about.
Everything has a political agenda. Doesn't matter what it is anymore. That's where we're at today.
But that's what it just chaps my cheeks that people are so two-faced and they don't even see their own hypocrisy. And I replied at first. I said, "Yeah, I am so thankful for people like those men and women who gave their lives that day to save others. But why turn around and end it, your beautiful post honoring them, with, have you ever seen a pro athlete run to save somebody's life?" And I just said, why cause division when you preach against it? And somebody else that I don't know replied, seriously? And I just put, yeah. And then I deleted it because I was like, you know what? Don't want to start nothing. And then I thought about it for a while, and then this person made another post talking about this new Netflix show, which I will get into, called Cuties. I don't know if you see anything on it.
I have seen some stuff.
Okay,
on
so I'll talk on that in a second, but it's talk about being a strong Christian, and you know what? It's not okay to be apathetic anymore. We have to take a stand against things. And I'm sitting here going, son of a... You were just yelling about pro athletes taking a stand about something they're passionate about. Now you're saying Christian men should take a stand against something you're passionate about. I don't care. Just don't be hypocritical is what I'm saying.
So here is my unpopular opinion. This is so unpopular. There are, most everybody who protests needs to just be arrested. Because personally, I'm just tired of it. Like on a personal level, I am tired of not just the Black Lives Matter stuff, not all protesting. But online protesting, everything, protesting everything.
We all protest.
I don't protest anything.
You're protesting.
Nope.
Everybody protests.
No, I know. But that's the thing. Like, I'm fed up with all the different protests. Like, like your thing. The one, you got whoever it is talking out of both sides of their mouth.
Yeah.
Essentially is what it is. And I'm, like, completely fed up with everybody talking out of both sides of their mouths.
Yeah, no, like, that's my whole point.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm with you. Like, I'm fed up with the hypocrisy, the talking out of two sides of your mouth.
Yeah.
The protesting, whatever. Protesting's fine. I don't actually have an issue with protesting. What I do have an issue with, though, is people who loot and riot and cause violence and are lumped in as protesters are doing this.
Right. Yeah. That's not protesters. That's rioters.
They're called rioters. They're called looters. They're called fucking criminals.
But to your point, the media has an agenda.
Everybody
they're going to twist it that this is a protest.
Yes.
No, it's not.
No, that's not a protest.
There have been plenty of peaceful protests.
Oh,
the
yeah.
media has not covered most of them.
Right. So I'm with you. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it just burns me to sit. It kind of pains me because this is somebody who I share many views with. Professes.
Is it Garrett?
Nope.
Damn it.
Nope.
I just wanted something else to burn for.
Professes. I don't even know if you know him, honestly.
Probably don't.
Professes the same kind of faith I do, same kind of beliefs, and then sits there and for the most part says, I'm going to stand for what I believe in. Here's my beliefs. I'm not ashamed of them. He's not very pushy about it. But then sit there and attack pro athletes because he doesn't like that they kneel for the flag during the anthem. And here's my thing: people fight for a lot of reasons, and a lot of young guys get sent overseas to fight for what we call our freedoms when it's really political agendas, when it's really oil.
It's always political agenda.
Exactly. They're not fighting. Nobody.
COVID is a political agenda at this point.
Everything is so twisted. And we are taught that if you protest during the national anthem, even peacefully, that you hate the country and you should move out, or you're against our nation, or you hate a certain race, or that's not it.
There are a lot of people that I think should just move out. Not move out of the country. There are a lot of like celebrities. I think they should just be deported.
Here's my feeling on that, though.
Well,
I don't agree with them. I think they're idiots. Like Amy Schumer, when she said if Trump wins, she's going to Canada.
You know what? That's exactly what I'm talking about.
All I said was prove it, because I guarantee you she won't, and she didn't.
Right, and she's got a big mouth. That's what I'm talking about.
But at the same time, I want to have the freedom to complain about them, just like they're complaining about the president. And like
they
I'm doing
can still complain about. You can still complain about them, and they can still complain from Canada.
And here's the thing. Here's how I explain it to a buddy, though. I have a very, very dear friend. We call each other brothers. He served in the Marine Corps. Got injured.
His name's
Kevin. Kevin was not in the Marine Corps. Don't know if you've seen my brother. I know you have.
I have.
Kevin was in the
he was
United
a
States.
Marine.
Yeah, he was definitely looked like Peter Griffin as a SWAT officer or something. But I made a post about something about, we've got problems in our country. And he replied something along, it wasn't, if you don't like it, move. But it's basically, hey, it's an option to live here.
It is.
And I said, you're absolutely right. But being a husband and a father of two, if your kid's acting a fool,
you slap the shit out of them.
Do you move out, or do you try to correct the problem? Some guys move out. That happens. But I said, I see America as my home. If there's a problem with my house, or my family or my tribe or whatever you want to call it, my team,
Yeah.
I try to correct what I see as an issue.
I can't believe you used tribe.
Well,
That's so derogatory.
it is. Well, I'm a POC, so it's okay.
Today?
Today I am. Just during this segment while it's convenient.
Oh, okay.
But that's my point is like, no, like I'm not saying I hate America. I love this country.
I do too.
We have so many freedoms. We have beautiful state forests and national parks, and there's so much more I want to see of my country and experience. But there's also a lot really effed up stuff going on that could be fixed. We're just choosing to fight about it instead of fixing it. That's all I'm saying. So it's not.
Well, in some cases, not even fighting about it. They're just not fixing it.
Yeah.
And complaining about it.
And not only that, the people arguing political sides, whatever, red and blue, and which I always found it ironic that Crips and Bloods were the gangs I heard of the most growing up, and the political parties are red and blue. But I'm sitting here going, guys, no, there's an issue. You can still love your country, you can be patriotic, you can be proud of your service.
Well, I said something. So the other
day,
go,
yo, this is messed up.
The other day, and personally, I don't have any issues with the current president per se. I think
he's like any other president we've had.
I think he's just
my
like
life's been the same.
Yeah, he's
an idiot on Twitter.
He's an idiot. I mean, he's a moron.
I call him a buffoon a lot. I don't use that term.
He is a buffoon.
Often, but
he's a buffoon. I voted for him. I mean, I wanted to see honest to God, I wanted to see what a businessman would do with the country. And business-wise,
yeah,
I don't think he's done a bad job.
With him, just like I said with Obama, I think he's done some good.
He's
done some not so good.
So,
you know?
But with this election coming up, I have never, ever in my 40 years on this planet seen as much support for one candidate versus another.
Yeah.
Like, there were people in the Meijer parking lot yesterday when I stopped at the store waving Trump flags and American flags and, like, hollering at people. Like, woo!
Oh, yeah.
Like, Trump parade. Like, they're doing boat parades at Buckeye Lake for Trump. Like, 200 fucking boats just motoring down.
It's kind of crazy. It's cult-like at this point.
It is. But on the flip side, I don't see any of the support for Biden.
Here's the
now,
thing.
granted, we don't do religion and politics.
Yeah, we don't study it a lot.
But this isn't. I don't look at this as even.
And we don't live in an area that is.
This is an observation.
Yeah, it is. But I'm saying, like, where you and I live in rural Ohio.
Oh, hold on. Don't pull out of my driveway and go left. Pull out my driveway and go right.
Well,
and then make a right at Lithopolis.
I know you got Trump guy down here.
Well, that's just Benedum. Make a right on Lithopolis.
Yeah.
And you will enter an area where there are flags draped off of trees and in the ground, and they were on, like, the wires. Like, it's kind of crazy.
For Trump?
For Trump. I don't see... I'll drive around, and occasionally I'll see a Biden-Harris sign. But there's no one holding parades for Biden.
You know, I'm glad I've driven around. I've actually seen, not many, but a couple Joe Jorgensen signs.
I've seen a couple.
Lover or hater or think third party votes waste, I don't care. It's just nice to see a third party have signs in yards.
Signs in yards.
I've never seen that before.
I really wish that Tulsi Gabbard would have.
Tulsi would have been a great candidate.
That would have been a great candidate. But, like, so I won't be voting for Trump this year. Not because I don't think he's done whatever I thought he was going to do business-wise, because that's the reason. Because I have literally never voted for the same guy twice.
Yeah, stick to it then.
I'm going to stick to that. I've never voted for the same person twice.
I've not voted for the sitting president since the first term of George W. I think I'm trying to remember. I think I voted for him the first term, and the second term I went, nope. I didn't vote for Obama either term. I didn't vote for Trump. But I've always tried to vote. I try to look at every candidate, regardless of their shots, regardless of their odds, and go, who do I think out of the 6 or 7 actual legitimate candidates would I want to run my country, my business, my family, whatever.
And that's what I do.
And I vote for that person.
So that's why I'm voting this year for Joe Rogan and Cameron Hanes.
There you
go.
I
can't even talk.
You should run their campaign.
Or Joe Rogan and Rocco. Willick.
Do it.
Well, that's a big
Write them in.
That's a big joke that they were having. Like they were gonna.
I wish Mike Rowe would run. I've said that before, and I know somebody that's like Mike Rowe would make a terrible president.
No, he's not. He's not insane. You have to be an insane narcissist to be able to want to run for president.
I don't. Well, and that's the thing with Trump was he did it for. He felt like he'd already conquered the world, right? He was a celebrity. He had his own TV show.
I don't think that's the case. I think he thought he could do better than.
That's what I mean. He's
better than the previous guy.
Yeah.
So
he thinks he can do better than everybody at everything. He thinks he's untouchable. Well, as a president, he kind of is untouchable, but
for the most part,
you know what I mean. It's just that I can't bring myself to vote for somebody who so blatantly says and does things that are. And I'm trying not to alienate listeners. But you know
I wouldn't worry about it. We don't have any.
I'll say, you know what, F it. Somebody that so blatantly has such blatant disregard for other people. Yeah, has so many people follow him so blindly. He's not. Most people told me, I love that he wants to get rid of illegal immigrants and build a wall. He's not done anything to affect that. Most Christians say, I only vote Republican because of abortion. That's never changed.
And
all these issues that people vote for so blindly, they don't even look at other candidates. They grew up being taught a certain thing by their parents, who were taught a certain thing by their parents. A lot of it stems from a bunch of racist a-holes we all.
Well, hold on. I'm going to give you a really good example of, from the same family, two different mindsets. Love you, Sarah. She votes red. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It is red. I don't. I vote for whoever I feel is going to be the better candidate or the better individual for the position.
Right.
Now, that's not to say that, Sarah's way is the wrong way and my way is the right way or vice versa. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say I'm pretty sure my parents were like Republican. But they didn't live long enough for us to have that conversation in reality. So, and I don't do politics anyway. Like I don't do office politics. I don't do government politics. It's not my thing. It's not what I'm into. But she votes red. Doesn't matter who it is. Matter of fact, on the last election, she's like, you better make sure you get out there and vote. She goes, you better fucking vote red. Well, I'm not going to listen. One, I'm not giving you my vote. Two, I'll vote for whoever I feel like based on what I think they're going to accomplish.
Right.
Which is what I did. And it just happened to be
right.
Trump. So, which is fine. And if people want to send me hate, send it over. I'll just ignore it like I do everything else on Facebook. But that shouldn't make a difference one way or another who I voted for and whether you're going to hate me or not. Or like me or not. So,
one of my favorite,
and that's what the country needs to get over at this point is that's where that gigantic divide is that we are now talking about.
Yeah.
And
a lot of it stems from.
It's ignorance. Literally based on color.
A lot of it stems from ignorance, right?
It's just not black and white. It's red and blue.
It's ignorance. It's a willful ignorance of one's own party or policies. A lot of people now are talking, well, if Biden gets in, there'll be a mass shooting. They're going to push for a ban on assault rifles.
Guess what? There's going to be a mass shooting anyway.
But just like when Obama went to office, all the ammo, all the firearms, prices skyrocketed. Oh, they're going to ban all this. They're going to ban that. 22 was impossible to find. Screw squirrel hunting, and which 22 of all things. That's about as dumb as buying toilet paper to bunker down for COVID.
Well, apparently that's becoming another thing again.
Oh, is it?
Yes, and 223 was hard to find.
Yeah,
and so was 556. Because I bought. Basically, it was on a flash sale. I bought 2,000 rounds of 223.
You got an arsenal.
Oh, you're damn right I do. I also have 20, 30 round magazines.
I don't have any of that because guns are scary, and I only use slingshots.
And you're a liar.
Only as far as you think.
No.
Only as far. I have a single shot hunting shotgun.
And you carry in your...
Actually, I do have a pistol.
So...
That is
you just called
often on me that I bought from a store and is registered and the government does know about.
Oh, well.
That's all I own.
I have guns the government doesn't know about because I inherited them all. No, I inherited them.
That's
so
all.
it's fine.
I'm sitting here winking at Martelle when I say... But here's my thing. So...
I don't have to register mine in the state of Ohio.
When I talk to these Trump people, and these people that are going, well, Biden, if Biden goes in, they're going to push more bans on firearms and blah, blah,
See, you
blah.
say people. You say people. You say these Trump people. And that comes off derogatory.
Good. Because they're saying this is the reason I'm voting Trump and the sole reason.
Well,
I don't want them to take my guns, but Trump, it falls into the discussion because Trump did more to restrict firearms purchasing and ammo purchasing.
Oh, he has completely fucked up my taxes this year.
Than Obama did.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to look into the stats on that. They just want to say that Republicans, you get guns. Democrats, you don't. Republicans, you're going to stop abortions. Democrats, kill all the babies. Like, it's so dumb, the reason people vote the way they do.
Can we go to, like, a 2-child limit in the United States? Like, China had the one-child.
Yeah.
The one-child limit for, like, the longest time.
We'll take it all the way back to Egypt. Kill all the baby boys.
Yeah.
Get out the population.
Can we literally go to a 1-child or 2-child limit within the United States based on your...
Martelle, I think your girls are both too old to be aborted at this point.
I don't want them to be aborted, but I would like...
It's just murder now.
I would love, because I just think the Earth's overpopulated anyway, and a mass... what's that word I'm looking for? The reckoning, where people ascend. A rapture, yes.
Yeah.
A mass ascension. I'll stay here on the planet. That's fine. Just send everybody else.
That's the epitome of, I'm staying home. I'm not going to the party.
Gigantic global cleansing.
You want to be the guy on that
Last
Twilight episode where he finally has time to read all his books, but then he breaks his glasses and can't, and he's all alone.
But no, seriously. Like, there are people that have kids just so they can collect welfare checks.
100%. When I worked inner city Columbus,
but that's the thing.
I witnessed a woman tell her 14-year-old daughter, "The more kids you have, the more money they'll give you."
That's bullshit.
I agree.
Welfare should not be used. It should be a help, and it should only be available for X amount of time. And then once you're done, you're done.
I agree.
Like,
but here's the thing. That, again, that's part of me going, "Hey, there's something wrong in my country. I want it fixed." I'm not leaving America because welfare's screwed up.
I'm leaving America because of that. I'm leaving America.
You're leaving America because you want to live somewhere you deem a nicer place to live, a nicer climate,
like a beach.
Yeah, that's
that's
fine.
To do with,
but that's not saying, well, I just like things that are happening in my country, and somebody saying, well, you should get out. Then that's the dumbest thing ever.
Right.
That's like if you're walking through your house and you constantly stub your toe on one piece of furniture, just moving out. No, move the furniture.
Is that an option?
Just leave everything.
Just leave everything and move out?
When people tell me if you don't like it, get out, I'm like, you're ignorant. That doesn't mean you're a dumb person. And again, people hate being called ignorant. Ignorant just means you're ill-informed or uninformed on something.
I'm uninformed on a lot of things.
Oh, we both are.
You know why? Because most of the time, I don't give a shit.
Dude,
like,
I've said that.
Honestly, don't care.
There's a guy that I've discussed many things with, the same guy that at one point asked me early on, what's your goal for the podcast? Don't know. Well, what do you hope to achieve? Don't know. Don't care. We do it to have fun.
We do it to do it.
Yeah.
Why do you go fishing? What's your point?
Yeah.
Your point is to...
I don't have a goal with the podcast. If the podcast blows up someday and we get to do this full time, awesome. If it doesn't, great.
Right.
You know, we do it like you said last episode. You didn't feel like doing it, but we wanted to put something out.
Yeah, we had to.
Yeah,
just to keep
technically we don't have to.
We don't have to.
A lot of podcasts don't make it this long.
I mean, the reality is, yeah, a lot of shows don't make it past 6 months.
Yeah,
because people don't want to put the time and effort into it.
It takes effort. You got to make somewhat of a priority.
And I'm the one putting the priority and effort into it.
I hit you up 3 times this week to record. You went fishing and boating.
Well,
but you do a lot for the show. But yeah, my
you show up and talk, and I do everything else.
We've got a great system.
Yeah,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It's super.
I am not a smart man, and I can't figure all that crap out.
You have no idea how computers work.
Pretty much.
And you went to DeVry.
I dropped out of DeVry. Thank you very much.
I did too, thank you. But
well, you made a career of your dropout. I did not. I ran the other way.
I should.
I ran the other way. But
I didn't.
Yeah, just when the guy that asked about the goal with our show, he'll ask something about a political issue or this or that or an event. And I'll say, here's what I think, but I don't really care. Or I'll just say, no opinion. Well, you have to care. No, I don't.
No, you don't.
I literally don't care. It doesn't affect my life or my house in any way.
The best part is you don't have to care about any of it.
I mean, when all those marches and crap were happening in Columbus and the riots, there was talk of people coming down from Columbus and up from Chillicothe.
There were talks of them coming into Lithopolis and all that.
To meet in Circleville, and I live in Circleville, in town.
Although...
And people are like, what are you doing? I was like, nothing. I'll lock my doors. Like, I'm going
to get my shotgun and sit on the porch.
Yeah, like, I'm in a house. I don't own a business. So I'm not going to go downtown and try to prevent anything. To me, my crop training was don't put yourself in stupid situations.
Right.
There's a reason.
Which is why
I didn't drive to Columbus.
I wouldn't go to a protest.
Yeah, exactly.
This comes back to the thing I said earlier about just protest, just to arrest everybody protesting. I don't put protesting, unfortunately, today is a stupid situation. It is
protesting
a situation
as we see it on the media, yes.
Well, even on social media from people just posting their own videos of things happening. But protesting today, occasionally, not every time, you get your point across as a collective, but it is a stupid situation for someone to get injured that doesn't need to be there or can't protect themselves.
I don't get it. This all goes back to what chaps my cheeks. So many people preach about we need to do what's right, but they fight everybody that doesn't agree with them.
Right.
Doing what's right.
Because no one can have a conversation anymore.
Exactly. Is talking over stuff, but doing it in a civil manner. And I talk with people, you and I disagree about some things, but we don't fervently hate.
Fuck you, Randy. I hate you and your beliefs of things that you think are real.
That's fine.
Like your imaginary man in the sky.
That's fine. I'm okay with you.
Neil Armstrong, who went to the moon.
Okay, first off, the moon landing was fake. Birds aren't real, and the earth is flat.
No, the earth is hollow.
Oh, hollow? Is that where we're at now?
That's where I'm at today.
I'm going to go outside and knock on the ground, see what it sounds like. Donk, donk, donk. But it's and I've had people that make fun of me for my faith. Make fun of me for my weight, for my sports team, for my political beliefs.
I don't make fun of you for your weight. I just shame you for it.
Or attack me. They shame me. They attack me. They yell at me. They block me on social media.
I only blocked you. I didn't block you.
Unfollowed.
I unfollowed you because you were posting 30 times in 15 minutes.
That's fine. I do that every 3 days.
Yeah. It was just really eating up my newsfeed.
That's fine.
All. But now you're free and open. You're there.
I'm back?
Everybody's back except one person.
Except one particular person.
One particular person.
Sorry, Sarah.
It's not Sarah.
I know it's not Sarah.
I mean, it's...
You don't have to say.
No, I'm not going to, but they... So, dude just said, I don't unfollow anybody because everybody has their right to post whatever they want. Me or anybody else unfollowing somebody does not impede their right to post anything.
No, I unfollow a lot of people.
Yeah.
I don't unfriend them. I don't
unfriend
them,
people.
But I unfollow a lot of people.
Blocking will unfriend.
Yeah.
And hide you from the search. You can't even be found.
That happened to me last week. And the guy a buddy of mine, I was actually at he's a blacksmith. And I was at an event of his yesterday. And he brought it up. I forgot about it because it happened actually a week or two ago. And he said, yeah, so-and-so that blocked you, I thought he was going to show up today. And he might be upset at you. And I said, what was his name again? Because I would have known him. I said, I didn't go to his profile, but my buddy posted something. And I made some comment about it being sex. Somebody posts anything, I'll put, that's racist. Yeah. It's not racist. It's just dumb. But this is a guy that knows me well. And I said something about being sexist or something dumb. And somebody got went off on me. So, of course, I do, I don't get mad. I started laughing and go, here we go. Got one. I'm fishing. got one on the line. And I said a few things back and forth. And the whole time, my buddy said, dude, I knew what you were doing the whole time. I thought it was hilarious. And this guy finished up with something. He said, I'm going to leave this up for a few minutes and then you're blocked. And sure enough, 3 minutes later, I didn't even reply. I was blocked. So I messaged my buddy and said, hey, man, just so you know, I didn't mean to set your friend off. I don't know your relationship with this guy, but he blocked me. I don't know the guy, so whatever. And he said, dude, honestly, I've been meaning to get rid of him for a long time, so thank you for reminding me. I just unfriended and blocked him. So the guy that blocked me got blocked by my buddy.
It's a double blocker.
Yeah, right. It's like a dodgeball 2-player swing thing. But I was just like, why are you going to battle with somebody you don't know online and then just block them to feel superior? What? How
I have only had
unhappy
to block
are you?
I've only had to block a couple people.
And I've got a friend that him and I go back and forth. He hates kids. He makes fun of religion all the time. He makes fun of Christians and Jesus all the time.
Why are you talking about DJ?
And I got to bring a little urban flair into the conversation. Okay. But he'll make fun of all this stuff and joke about it. And I joke back at him with his stupidity about how much he loves dogs.
Dogs aren't kids, by the way. I'm going to put it out that dogs are not kids.
They're definitely not kids, but they're still the same. Like
they are family members.
They're still responsibilities,
but they are
you
not.
Still got to keep them alive, unless you don't have to, but you're an a-hole if you don't. But
they're not
we go back and forth.
For kids
but then in our private conversation, like we talk about stuff. I'm like, yeah, I believe this way, but I don't believe that makes me better than you. And he's like, yeah, I think religion's good for the most part. Some people need a moral compass.
Yeah.
He said there's, a lot of people.
You have to have morals, though, to need that compass. I don't have any morals.
Well, that's fair. But that's why you wear anal beads on your wrist.
Yeah.
So
those are my Buddhist prayer beads.
Right.
We'll just go with anal beads on
but that's
my
what
wrist.
I'm saying. I can go back and forth with friends that know me and say, you believe in what you believe and I believe in what you believe in. Who cares? There are so many people, though, that claim to do the same thing, especially Christians. And I say that just because I know a lot of people that.
So I will say, hey, let's do a whole show on politics and religion, because that's kind of what we've done today.
Inadvertently, which we've always said we will never do.
But no, because we're not talking. We're talking about politics. We're not talking politics.
We're talking about people, really.
Well, in this case, now we're talking about religion, but we're not talking religion.
We're not preaching something.
But I will say, from the outside of Christianity, the more people that are mouth machines for any religion are Christians of any, we'll just say, denomination, whether it's Catholic, Methodist, Protestant, the whole, just run the gamut.
Right.
They're the ones who are, and I'm generalizing, are the ones who are usually telling people that they're wrong. You don't get a lot of Buddhists telling people that they're wrong. You don't get Hindus telling people that they're wrong. You get the extreme Muslims telling other people that they're wrong. But
they do it with bombs and airplanes.
Right, but a Muslim is not going out and telling somebody else that their religion is wrong.
Now, let me ask you this, and I'm not disagreeing, because
and the same thing with Jews.
I think the Jews.
I love the Jews.
It's just funny the way that ended.
I know.
Let me ask you this, though. Do you think part of that might be because, especially here in America, Christianity is, numbers-wise, far larger than any other religion?
It is far larger than any other religion or faith.
Because I feel like it's...
But
you have idiots of every sports team, every state, every city, every family.
Right.
You have a certain percentage of idiots.
Yes.
There's just a lot more Christians. So you'd think we notice it more just because there's more of them than there are Muslims? Or
no, I don't think it's because there's more. I think it's because in my personal
bubble.
It is. It's not that there's more. It's that they're literally louder.
Yeah, I could see that.
They are so much louder than...
And that's why I like calling those people out. And that's why a lot of, air quotes for those that are listening, Christians don't like me.
Right.
Because I will call out hypocrisy when need be. Now, I'm not... If they're ranting and raving and yelling, I let them go. If it's somebody I care about, I'll say, hey, probably calm down on that one.
My thing is, I think there's a lot of ministers, pastors, fathers, priests, whatever you want to, wherever you're at. They are also the ones who are the first to call out people for someone's religion being wrong. They're all accepting of the person. They're not accepting of their beliefs.
Here's a problem. Here's a term I've always had a problem with. Love the sinner, but hate the sin. I get the sentiment and the idea behind it. The whole love people regardless of their sin or their wrongdoing or their immorality. Just love people. I get. I like that.
Oh yeah, you can.
But when you say hate the sin, I also say I get disliking rape, hate murder, hate But if I look at you,
porn is so good. Even though it's staged,
that's fine.
I'm kidding.
Maybe it's staged.
I don't know. I don't watch rape porn.
Yeah, midgets only.
Midgets
and
only.
They are willing midgets.
Oh yeah.
See, this is why we can't hang out with dude, that pervert. So when people say love the sinner, hate the sin, I get it. But here's the thing: if you come into my church and you say, "Hey, I'm not Buddhist, but I like a lot of the ideas behind it," and but I'm coming here to see what your church is about, and I say, "Well, hey, we love you, sinner, but we hate the Buddhist thing." You don't want to be called a sinner,
right?
So the terminology itself that Christians use, they don't even understand how bad it sounds,
right? And that's part of it. Like,
I mean, if you came up to me and said, "Hey, I'm Buddhist," I'd be like, "Cool, high five." Poosh,
well, so
let's hang out. Like,
so here's the thing:
it doesn't matter.
I can't like, yes, Christianity. There's Judaism. There's whatever Muslims, Hindus. I can't look at, even though Buddhism is a religion, I don't look at it as a religion. It is a philosophy, more so than
Buddha was a philosophizer.
He was. So, and when I generally think about religion is following a deity of some kind. So you've got Allah, you've got God, they're all basic. It's all the same person essentially. From my opinion, it's all this. It's the
being.
same. It's literally the same person, and then these religions just branched off based on wherever they're at within the world and how people perceive it. I mean, it is.
Well, I mean, you're almost acting like some ancient king in England years ago just decided to create his own branch of religion because he wanted to marry who he wanted to. Crazy.
Yeah, I know, right? But like Buddhism isn't. It was a prince. It was the whole philosophy behind that. The story behind it was a prince who walked away from everything he owned, became enlightened, and moved on.
I am not enlightened.
That is you're heavied.
I would make me and Buddha. I think we would get along great.
Well, you're not enlightened, and Buddha is enlightened.
I just like the dude with the big belly.
Yeah, that's a Buddha, but
one of them.
That's one of many,
right?
Because there's more than one. By the way, people.
I feel like because I've seen different images of Buddha, but I always picture when I talk about it. And my buddy Steve has a statue of Buddha with a big old belly. And his parents are like real, they're pretty staunch Christians, conservative Christians. Hate it.
Well, see, I was,
and it sits on his front porch, and I think it's awesome. I'll rub the belly, like I'm like little fat dude, like cool, we cool, fist bump him. But
actually have a shirt design with Ganesh.
Yeah,
who is an Indian god from a Hindu. I put out a shirt years ago with Ganesh on it. That is stellar. That I would love to have a statue of. Not to idolize something. Not to idolize. Well, I was going to say
you put up that statue, I'm going to tear it down.
Well, no. So Rogan has he had a Buddha on his table, like a small, probably 8-inch Buddha sculpture that he had on his table in his studio in California. He moved to Texas, and he took that. Well, he obviously took that statue with him, but that statue was going to be in the studio. Well, now he's got a 3.5-foot statue of Ganesh in his studio, and the Buddha is now in his office. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. I have a shirt with Ganesh on it. I would like to
get you a statue for our studio here.
I'm getting back into the Japanese culture again. Like I was in it pretty heavy growing up, like before I moved out here, and then after I moved out here, and now I'm playing the samurai game, and it's kind of reigniting.
You just want to be a ninja.
No, I don't even want to be a ninja. Just reigniting like all this stuff. Like I've specifically, when we did our landscaping, I said I want a Japanese maple. Like I don't care everything else you do. Right there on the corner, I want a Japanese maple. And Daniel was like, cool, we'll get you Japanese maple. It'd be the most expensive thing we have in your garden.
It's just mulch and one Japanese maple.
I'm like, cool. But now that we're getting the pool, I'm looking for...
Bamboo.
No, because bamboo's a weed, and it's hard to get rid of.
And it would take over everything.
Yeah. So I don't want any of that bullshit.
But then you could have cool little bears living in it and stuff and go out and pet them. And...
I have a bear in this house.
Rawr.
Her name's Harley. But now that we're doing the pool, I'm trying to find a waterfall that I can throw on the pool before it's installed so they can put the pump and everything to it.
Just make sure, whatever you do, that you do not go chasing it.
I don't chase waterfalls.
Okay.
I stick to the rivers and the lakes that I'm used to.
That's the best way to do it.
Right.
You're not going to find fish in a pool waterfall.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe some crawfish, but...
Ooh.
Not,
crawfish boil.
Yeah, no, I'm not looking for any bass there.
You going to do a Buddha statue on the waterfall?
No, I want to do a whole...
Ganesh peeing into the pool?
That would be awesome.
Buddha's nipples just like... Psh, just have all these different
Milk
little
me,
Buddhas.
No, I actually want to take... Because we'll have to fence in the backyard for the pool.
Yeah.
Which I'm not a huge fan of, but it's not specific to around the pool area. I can just fence in a large section.
Yeah.
I want Daniel to come back and do a whole Japanese Zen garden in the backyard.
Be out there like Daniel-san.
I'll be like...
Standing on a rock. You can whack on and whack off there.
I do that anyway.
In a Zen garden?
I'll do it in my backyard.
Peaceful.
It's super peaceful. Right around...
Your neighbors love that your house is farther ahead than theirs. Like, it's 5:30, close the curtains. Martelle's coming.
He's coming out.
Back on his deck. Now, I was going to say, though, with the Buddha and the different images, like, when I talk about loving the fat Buddha, I remind...
Happy Buddha.
I get reminded of that scene in Talladega Nights where he's like, I like to picture my Jesus coming down with, like, angel's wings playing lead guitar. Like, I like to picture my Buddha all happy and fat sitting next to me at a buffet.
And, yes. Indian style. Oh, that's offensive. Never mind. Crisscross applesauce.
Native American style.
Crisscross applesauce. No, but yeah, it's everything around, like all the religion stuff is just there are more hypocrites than there are genuine people. In my observation,
the loudest of the loud ones, yes.
Yes.
See, now in the circle I run with now and the people I know now, there are people helping the homeless. There are people running shelters for
Well, that's not to
abused
say
women.
that the loudmouths don't do that either.
No, but I'm saying you don't hear from them as much.
Right.
The ones actually doing what I would call Christ-like works are not what the world sees as Christians.
I wouldn't even call that Christ-like work. That's just kind people being kind.
No, I mean, you can label it how you want.
It's
the ones that are doing what they would deem as what Christians should be doing. I'll put it that way.
right.
Taking care of others. Taking care of the meek.
See, I would call that just being
widows,
humanity.
And that's fine.
Humanity doing humanity.
A lot of people do.
So, because I don't want to, labeling, because I don't know, but I don't know if the group down at the temple for the Jewish temple is doing the same thing. I don't know. You head over to Bexley and you see all kinds of Orthodox Jews walking up and down the street because it's a huge Orthodox community. But what are they doing in the community? I have no idea. I've been so far removed.
Oh no, I'm not speaking on community. I'm talking about people I know personally.
I know.
I'm not talking about the.
I don't know them personally,
people.
so I can't respond to that.
I know, but I was using that as an example, saying you don't know them personally because they're doing it humbly. They're doing it under the radar. It's like if you donate to a charity. Say you give $10,000 to a charity. Great.
I'm going to post it on Facebook.
You stand there giving them a giant check.
I got
that you paid another $300 to have made.
I got a big foam check here for you guys.
Yeah.
I didn't pay $300 to have it made. I just printed all them out on 8.5 by 11 and then pasted it all together
with stick glue.
That's right.
The purple stick glue. But yeah, I mean, it's like there's humble ways to do things, and there's ways to make it more about you or about a situation that paints you in a better light. I would say the vast majority.
You mean
of
like
people,
my Victoria's Secret videos? I'm going to have to post one of those to the Buckhorn page.
Do it. Post them all. I don't care. I thought they were hilarious.
Oh, I make an ugly woman.
Who was it? Was it Jones said I can't, or DJ said I can't fap to this? Somebody did.
Yeah. Who was that?
I forget who it was.
Because I think I even
laughing.
responded with another video.
You did. That's why I laughed. I didn't reply. I was like, I'm going to let Martelle have his fun on this. And I was just laughing at all the responses you were getting.
Well, I don't mind making, a fool of myself and doing ridiculous shit. So let's see. DJ goes, "That's awful." And I just responded with, "Awesome." I didn't actually respond to him. So another friend of mine said, "I can't unsee Jesus. I can't unsee this." And I just responded with, "You rang," with an image of Buddy Christ from Dogma with my face on it. Sean Jones responded with "dude," and I didn't respond to him. My friend Kalpita, she's from India, she goes, "This is very disturbing." So I found 2 videos that I was able to put myself into from Bollywood and put those videos up. There's the WAP. I've got a WAP video. You actually did respond with a golden girl misting herself.
Oh, yeah.
Katie Shank responded with Homer pouring bleach into his eyes.
Hater.
Jimmy responded with something. I'm like, "You mean the best." I know I responded to somebody other than Kalpita with... Oh, that's it. Another friend of mine said, "This is very disturbing," or "I'm very disturbed by this." And I just responded with a gif of Loki just kind of nodding his head, but it's my face.
Yeah, great videos.
Yeah, they're all good. I'll post one up on the Buckhorn page here shortly. But anyway, I don't know. I'm kind of done.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just end the show.
Okay.
All right. Well, in the words of the Dalai Lama, you can always be kinder.
And in the words of Bart Simpson, eat my shorts.
All right. Do the Facebook, the Instagram, and the Twitters.
It's the Google Tweetstagram.
Except don't do the Twitters, because I don't do the Twitters.
But you should.
But
we don't care.
You do you. I'm not even going to bother. No one's supporting the show anymore. I'll just leave the link in the show notes. You want to send us money? The link's there. If not, don't. Whatever.
And if you don't chew Big Red,
fuck you. I'm Martelle and Randy. We're out.
Peace.